Miliote. Miliote. In other words, Bishabel. Bishabelesh. In Yucatec Maya. So, welcome. My name is George. Today we're going to talk about some family expressions, family vocabulary related to Tsotsil. As you remember, Tsotsil is spoken mainly in Chiapas and it belongs to one of the Maya languages. So we're going to talk about as well, we're going to talk about a couple of questions and answers to say where you are, to talk about the location. And first of all, we have the word ut alalil, meaning relative. Uts alalil. And I'm going to give you a couple of uts alalil. The very first one is totil, meaning father. Totil. Then we have meil. Meil, meaning mother. Then we have muktatotil. Muktatotil, grandfather. Muktameil. Muktameil, grandmother. Juntotil. Juntotil, uncle. Junmeil. Junmeil, aunt. Itzinil. Itzinil, meaning little brother, but it's the brother's little brother. For example, I am a man, and if I have a little brother, this is the word I'm going to use to talk about my little brother. Itzinil. However, if my brother is younger than me, considering I'm a man, then I'm going to use bankilil. Bankilil. If I have a little sister, mukil. Mukil. If I have an older sister, Vishil. Vishil. Then we also have Keremalil. Keremalil, like this is a little bit more neutral. And Tsebalil, like sister. Tsebalil. In many languages, Chinese, Japanese, Purepecha, Korean, the family words concepts for brother, sister are normally not just one word, but actually many, depending on the age, depending on the possessor's gender, like in this case. Now, as you can observe, the previous words are nouns and they had at the end, the suffix il. Let's go back to the examples. As you can observe, all of them contain the suffix il. All right. Now, you can also use the possessives, and actually it's much more common to use the possessives because if you just say mother, like in many European languages, you don't know whose mother that is. So you always have to specify the possessive. My mother, your mother, his mother, and so on. For example, meil is a term like the neutral term or the isolated term that belongs to no one. Meil, mother. But jme, meaning my mother. Ame, ame, your mother. Sme, sme, his mother or her mother. Itzinil, a little brother from another man. Itzinil. Kitzin, kitzin, my little brother. Avinzin, avinzin, your little brother. Jitzin, jitzin, his little brother. And as you can observe, the possessives are different in here because the word, the noun, starts with the consonant. However, if it starts with a vowel, like in this case, then those are the corresponding possessive prefixes. Okay, so we have two categories. So you always have to consider the beginning of the word. So if we go back to the list, most of the words starts with a consonant except itzinil, but there are some others that also start with a vowel. So, so as we said, we have Y for the first singular person plural, A for the second singular person plural, I'm sorry, what am I saying? J for the first singular person, A for the second singular person, and S for the third singular person. So back to the vocabulary. If I want to say, for instance, muktatotil, muktatotil, so, or totil, better said, for instance, totil, chtot, chtot means my father, atot, your father, stot, his father, her father, and then muktatotil, muktatot plus the corresponding prefix. Hmutatot, my grandfather. Amutatot, your grandfather. Smuktatot, his grandfather, her grandfather. Hmuktame, my grandmother. Amuktame, your grandmother. Smuktame, his grandmother, her grandmother. Juntot, okay, juntot. Well, we don't have to, I'm sorry, we don't have to repeat the J, only once is fine. So juntot means my uncle. Ajuntot, your uncle. Sjuntot, his uncle. Junme, my aunt. Ajunme, your aunt. Sjunme, his aunt, her aunt. And then we have, well, inil, as we already checked, the endings are K, Av, and Y. So we have in those cases, kitsin, avinsin, jinsin. All right. Okay, let's go back to the list. So for instance, if you want to say, we have banquinil, banquilil, okay, banquil, and that's it, because we're going to use the prefix. So banquil, banquil means my old brother. Abanquil, your old brother. Svanquil, his old brother. Then we have Mukil, little sister. Muk is the root. So, Muk, my little sister. Amuk, your little sister. Smuk, his little sister, her little sister. Then we have Vishil. Vish, so we have Vish, my old sister. Avish, your old sister. Svish, his old sister, her old sister, her little sister, I'm sorry, his little sister. I meant old sister, you're right. So, as you can observe, you just have to add the corresponding prefix in order to construct the possessive. We also have, for instance, keremalil, so keremal is the root. Keremal, my brother. Akeremal, your brother. Skeremal, his brother, her brother. And then we have Sebalil, whose root is Sebal. So Sebal, my sister. At Sebal, your sister. Sebal, his sister, her sister. Okay? All right, moving on. Now, we also have some expressions to talk about locations, such as okay, first of all, it is important to keep in mind, as we actually So previously in Yucatec Maya, we also have different aspects. We have the completive, incompletive. So the first one, the completive one, has to do with realized actions, which will be the simple past. And the second one has to do with actions that are taking place or are taking place eventually in the future. That way, the verb batel can actually be conjugated in the following incompletive aspect for the future, such as chivat, meaning I'm going or I'm leaving. Chabat, you're leaving. Chbat, he's leaving, she's leaving. So, okay, for instance, buchbat, like buchbat atot. Where is your father going? Buchbat atot. Chbat asna. He's going home. Buchbat ame. Where is your mother going? And then we can say Buchbat tachivit. She's going to the market. Or Chbat avankil. Where is your brother going? Chbat takin. He's going to the party. Buchbat avitzin. Where is your little brother going? Chbat taaptel. He's going to work. All right, I'm going to use colors in order to distinguish the order. Buchbat avish. Where is your sister going? Chbat tachanovun. She's going to school. Buchbat amuk. Where is your little sister going? Chbat tacholnam. She's going to the church, to the temple. Then we have Buchbat amuktatot. Where is your grandfather going? Chbat tat obohel. He's going to the reunion. Buchbat amuktame. Where is your grandmother going? Chbat tatetik. She's going to the forest. Buchbat ajuntot. Where is your uncle going? Chbat tajobel. He's going to San Cristobal Las Casas, where actually my whole interest in Tsotsil actually was born. When I visited that place, I was fully in love with the whole culture. I mean, it's a wonderful place. I recommend you to visit. And you can put into practice your Tsotsil. Buchbat ahunme. Where is your aunt going? Chbant takomitan. She's going to Comitan, or she's going to Comitan because it's a ship. All right. So there are some expressions such as usitas pas, like what is he doing, what is she doing, in order to express the relatives activities. For instance, we have, in order to ask for the occupation, better said. For instance, kusitas pas atot. What is your father's occupation? Kusitas pa ame. What is your mother's occupation? Kusitas pas avankil. What is your brother's occupation? Kusitas pas avitzin. What is your little brother's occupation? Kusitas pas avish. What is your sister's occupation? Kusitas pas amuk. What is your little sister's occupation? Okay, so we have kusitas pas atot. What does your father do for a living, or what is your father's occupation? Tash aptech. He works, or he's working. Kusit tash apteoch. What does he do exactly? I mean, tash aptech tapasna. He works as a bricklayer. All right. So based on those answers, I mean, we could also use this one. We have also some other occupations, such as chabajón, which is agriculture. We also have a unulanej, unulajel, meaning cedar. And then we have, or Reaper, we also have Pasna, which is bricklayer, Ot Karo, meaning driver, Meltzaneh, Velil, meaning cook or chef, Isom, which is a sewer, a person who sews. And then we have Halom, which is I forgot this action. That's okay, let me just think about it. Mm, um no, you know what? The last but one, I mean the one we have in here, who's is some, that's not a sewer, I mean a tailor. That's pretty much an embroiderer. And Halom is the one who knits, like a knitter or a weaver. Yeah, because a tailor will be something else. Okay, so those are actually some of the main activities I have seen in Jovel, in San Cristobal Las Casas, and they have beautiful clothes. I mean, you can just find beautiful clothes over there. Um, all right, so that's all I have for you today. Thank you very much for your time. Don't forget to subscribe. If you like the channel, please share. And it will be wonderful if you can just click on like and leave your comments down below. I'll be very glad to read them. So thank you very much again, and I'll see you in the next episode. Kananta ba?